Welcome to Sales 101. In this video, I'm going to teach you the very foundations of sales, and my promise to you is you will leave with a good understanding of what the foundations of selling is all about, how you go about doing it, what equipment do you need, what should you wear, how you improve, and the true potential of sales. If you want this guide in written form, check the first link in the description below. I've written it into an ebook form, and you can consume it like that if that's how you prefer. If not, let's jump in and I'm going to go through this. I will also say all of the timestamps below lay out all the different chapters, so if you want to jump around, that's absolutely fine. Chapter 1, the potential of sales. What other job can you go into where if you work twice as hard, you get paid twice as much? Every other job you have in a company, unless you own a piece of the business, you work twice as hard and the company just says, thank you, here's your regular monthly check. Sales, if you work twice as hard and you're on commission, you get paid twice as much. You are rewarded for the work that you do. Sales also, if you get good at it, allows you to work for yourself, selling your own thing. It allows you to work in any other business because you've got a track record of bringing money into other businesses. You're looked at better as an employee because you're not a cost center. If you're a really good salesman, it's really hard to get fired from a company. It does still happen, but it's really hard. The potential of sales is unlimited. Please believe me when I tell that to you. Chapter 2, mindset. Good sales is all about good customer service. And the mindset you need to have when you go into a sales call is, I'm going to help this person as much as I possibly can. You go in and anticipate what they're going to need, what questions are they going to ask, and you think, how can I add as much value to this person? The reason you want to add value is because if they're not ready to buy now, they will remember you, and then when they are ready, they will come back again and buy from you. If they're not the right person, but you've given them amazing customer service, they will tell their friends, and their friends will come back and see you. The other mindset that you want to have in sales is self-belief. People that you're talking to can smell it if you're not truly confident in what you're selling. I can talk about sales in this video because I truly believe that sales is the best job you can have in a business. But your self-belief in what you're selling and in yourself that you're the right person to sell it will come through in every interaction that you have. If you're on the phone with someone and you're not very confident when you're talking to them, they're going to be a bit put off buying from you. So you need real self-belief. How do you develop this self-belief? Number one way to develop self-belief is trial and error. You keep trying and you keep refining your process. And when you're up to the 1,000 call, 2,000 calls, you've had enough track record and you're like, I am the right person to do this. The next one is you want to learn about your product deeper than the person you're selling to. If you know the ins and outs of your product, you will be able to answer their questions in a proper way. You also want to know about the competitors. If you know the competitors' products and you can compare them to your own, when the customer says, why should I go with you? You'll be able to actually give them a good answer. So it's trial and error and getting the numbers under your belt. It's knowing your product better than anyone else. It's knowing your competitors. Yeah? And those three together will give you the self-belief you need to be confident on the phone with someone. Chapter 3, the reality of sales. Until you are a few years in, and even then, it's not all closing calls. It's not all deals, 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 deals. Yeah? The reality is, in the beginning, you're going to be doing a lot of cold calls. So you're going to be getting to a lot of people which have never heard of your company before. A reality of that is you're going to be told no 1,000 times a month, at least. 90% of the time, you're going to be told flat out no. 9% of the time, you're going to be told, it sounds interesting, but I'm not really interested. 1% of the time, maybe you'll be told, this sounds good. So brace yourself for a lot of rejection. And that is what sales is. It's filtering through a bunch of people saying no and being fine being told no, because you are filtering through those people to try and get the ones which do actually want what you're trying to sell. That is the reality of sales. You're going to be told no. It's a grind. And if you're not interested in the grind, sales probably isn't for you. The other reality of sales is that when you are actually getting a deal to come through, it is one of the greatest feelings. You feel like a conqueror. You feel like, oh, I got the deal. And if you're in a sales team, everyone around you will be clapping and, well done, mate, you got the deal in. That is an amazing feeling. And it's a bit better when you're sharing that with a team. Chapter 5. Sales is service. I said that briefly at the start, but good sales is good customer service. You need to go in with the mindset of how do I help this person as much as I possibly can. If you give fantastic customer service to every potential customer that you speak to, you will build up a long list of people that will pick up the phone to you. Anywhere else that you go, they will pick up the phone to you and listen to what you have to say. That is incredibly valuable. Good sales is good customer service. You know your product, you know the problems people are going to have, anticipate what they're going to ask you, make sure you have a good answer for it. And if you don't know the answer, a good trick for you would be to say, hey, I'm sorry, I don't know that answer. I'm going to find out and I'll get back to you. And then be the person that actually gets back to them with the information. The secondary benefit of actually getting back to them with the information is that you learn more about your product so that the next time someone objects to buying from you because of that reason, you have a good enough reason to keep them on the phone. I will just mention now about what an objection is, because if you are brand new to sale, you won't have heard this term. Skip forward if you do already know this, because you already know this. Right? An objection is when you're selling to someone and they give you a reason for not buying. That isn't the end of the call. That is your opportunity to overcome that objection. And you do that by learning the reason why that objection is not a barrier to them buying the product. That's not scammy. It's done in scammy ways by certain people. But actually overcoming an objection is just about adding more value and giving better customer service in the call. Chapter 6, I just want to briefly talk what is a customer and what is the offer. In case you don't know, the customer is who you're talking to on the phone. Before they buy from you, they're a potential customer. The offer is the thing that you're selling to them. An offer itself is when you structure the thing that you're selling in a really juicy way that's hard to say no to. I can't actually remember what chapter we're on, so I'm going to stop saying that. Equipment. This is for all you gearheads out there. I mean physical gear, not actual gear. What do you need as a salesman? The number one weapon of a salesman is your phone. As long as you can make calls, you can make sales. So a decent phone with a decent microphone on it, that's number one. A lot of the times you're going to be using a CRM, which I'll explain in the next one. So you want a nice laptop. I'd say laptop is better than a desktop computer because the laptop will mean that you can take it out on the road with you, and if you're visiting trade shows or you're visiting another customer in-house, you can still get on with the work that you need to do. A laptop won't slow you down. Lugging your big desktop computer with you, that is going to slow you down. So you've got phone, you've got laptop. A lot of the time you'll be calling someone, so a decent microphone will help you get more sales. A microphone means that the person on the other end of the call can actually hear what you're saying. They will be less likely to buy from you if you have a bad microphone. I use that one, DJI Pro. It's very good. Or I use the Apple headphones. I really like those. Notebook. This is a nice mention. You don't have to have one of these. But if you're in a face-to-face sales meeting with someone and you're taking notes on your phone, how does that customer know that you're not texting your mum? If you're using a notebook, you're taking notes, there is no question that you are still engaged and listening to the customer. If you're on your phone, like this, taking notes, I could be checking emails, I could be texting my mum. It doesn't look professional, and having a notebook instead of a phone, you will get more sales. Some people comment on that and they say, I don't think it's necessary. You're right, it's not necessary. I just think it's respectful. Notebook, clothes, good microphone, laptop. Those are really the 4 things that you need. Oh, clothes. I didn't mention clothes. What you wear will impact your sales. If you look rough, you'll make less sales. If you look respectful, it looks like you're taking it seriously. You don't need to overdress, but dress appropriately for what you're selling. If I'm selling internet services or websites and things like that, maybe I can be smart casual. If I'm selling a yacht or a plane, you want to be in a shirt. I would say even if you're selling real luxury goods, potentially you don't want to be in a shirt and tie, but you want to be mimicking what the customer is wearing. It's a bit deep for this, but the way that you think about clothes in the sales situation is wear what is respectful to the customer you're selling to. Next chapter, software. A big thing that someone's going to ask you when you go for a sales job and you're in the interview, they'll say, what CRM have you used? CRM is Customer Relationship Manager. The 2 big ones, there are others, are HubSpot and Pipedrive. I really like both of these. What a CRM does is keeps track of all your leads and when you need to talk to them. Each time you add a new business into your CRM, they get their own profile with who's at the business, the contact numbers, the addresses, and the most useful thing, in my opinion, is the timeline. Each person in there gets a timeline of all the interactions, every email you've sent them, every phone call you've made, every note, every document you've sent. Everyone gets their own timeline, so that it means when I get a reminder to call this person, I don't go in thinking, when was the last time I actually talked to them? You have the timeline and I can quickly flick through and refresh myself. Oh yeah, I talked to them on the 9th of January and we talked about this. I go into the meeting much more prepared because I've got the timeline in front of me. The second most useful feature of a CRM is that once you call someone, you can add a reminder for the next thing you need to do, and then it will automatically tell you when you need to follow up. The next chapter I want to talk about is following up. Following up is the process of repeatedly making contact with the same person who hasn't yet bought from you. The reason you do this is because not everyone is ready to buy at the exact moment that you call them the first time. They may be the right customer, but it's not the right time. Following up with someone in the proper way will mean you increase your chances of actually getting them at the right time. A good system for you to follow for following up is if you've never talked to them before, you call them and they don't pick up, wait 3 days. Don't call them every day. If you call them every day, they'll memorize your number, they'll think you're bothering them. If you get through to someone and they're the right person, but it's the wrong time, you have to wait between a month and 3 months to call them again. Those are good foundation rules for you to follow. That's the system I use. And if you do follow it like this, you won't be bothering people. As you get further into a deep sales conversation and you're talking with someone about a bigger deal, you can follow up at different times. You don't have to wait a month. If you're working on a deal, you follow up as many times as you can add value. The next thing I'm going to talk about is how you rapidly improve your sales ability. This is almost the most crucial aspect of sales other than your self-belief. If you make a sales call and then find something to improve, and you do that over and over again, you will be unstoppable in sales. It's all about iterative improvement, which means I make a call, I find out something I did wrong, I make it better, I make it better, I make it better. It's impossible not to make sales if you are improving yourself over and over again like that. The way that you do that is through tracking. So you track everything. How many people are you calling? How many people are picking up? How good the conversation went? Who wants another meeting? How many sales you get? These are just examples. But I would say another way to improve that's worked very well for me is I have a camera recording me when I'm doing calls. And every time I do a call, when I hang up, I watch the recording back and I listen to my voice. Am I saying, is my initial conversation, the initial opening good? Could I improve how I say hello? Could I have mirrored better? When I got an objection, how do I deal with that objection better? And the way that you rapidly improve in sales is by iteratively improving. So each time you do one, improve, find something wrong, improve, find something wrong, improve. You repeat that process enough, you can't fail in sales. Even the worst salesman, if they improve one thing per call, they're going to be closing people at a rapid rate. Improvement is the number one way to get fantastic results in sales. The last chapter I want to talk about is repeat. Sales is a numbers game. The people that do well in sales are the ones that consistently show up every day and get a good number of calls in. If you do that and you repeatedly improve your process, you will have success in sales. If you've got this far in the video, you are clearly interested in sales. You can get the written version of this guide in the first link of the description, or you could get a one-on-one call with me and talk about sales and sales mentorship in the other links in this description. I recommend you follow this channel because I talk about things related to sales, digital marketing, remote work, and travel. Thank you so much for watching. Sales is such a fantastic career. I want you to make money in sales. Have a good day.